Hey everybody, Danny Maude here, head professional at the Canterbury Golf Club, and today I've got Darren from Yonex who's going to show you the latest Yonex equipment, the XPG, and how it might be able to benefit your game. So over to Darren.
Hi Danny. So the latest range from Yonex is the Ezone XPG range. Yonex specialise in graphite, and what that means is we have a higher percentage of graphite in our shaft. We make a high percentage graphite shaft which has a lot less glue or resin in the shaft, so you've got maximum stability in the shaft, which gives you a tighter dispersion for the landing area of the golf ball, and a more consistent flight on the ball as well. Now, geeky technology is always with the Japanese. They haven't got a cutaway at the bottom or a cutaway on the top that sort of jumps straight out of you. All the technology is hidden away within the club, and the theory that everyone's been working to over the last few years is everyone's been trying to make the shaft as light as possible to make the head feel heavier. Right. Now, on paper that makes sense because you should generate greater club head speed, but you can have one end of the club that's too light and one end of the club that's too heavy, basically meaning that you've got one end of the club moving faster than the other. It's very tricky then to keep the club sort of on plane. It's very tricky to keep the club sort of in control through impacts as well.
Inconsistent, yeah, guys.
So we sort of kept the same theory, but we've made the shaft 8 grams lighter than the previous model, but we've now added 13 grams of weight to the head of the club. So where other companies are making the shaft lighter to make the head feel heavier, we've made the shaft lighter and the head heavier. That heavier head creates greater force between the club and the ball, helps on the good shots, but more importantly sort of helps on those miss hits as well. But because we've now gone even lighter and even heavier, you could say that we've created now a sort of a bigger problem. So what we've done is we've counterbalanced the club by putting 20 grams of tungsten powder into the butt end of the grip. Now, counterbalancing has been more sort of commonly used in putters over the years, and the reason why I was using putters was that putter heads were getting too big and too heavy, and you had the same problem where one end of the club was moving faster than the other. So by putting weight into the grip of the putter, that allowed everything to work as a unit together, and that's basically exactly what we've done with the XPG model. So where Yonex have always been well known for making our own heads and our own shafts, now with the XPG model, we've got the head, the shaft and the grip all engineered to work together. And if you look at the grips here, you can see from inside the grip here, it's not actually a solid metal weight in the top, it's just tungsten powder built into the grip. And if you see here a standard tall velvet grip which most companies use on their club, and if you hold it out at the tip end there, and if we do then exactly the same with the XPG grip. So exactly the same weight, but just weight higher up the grip, just to counterbalance the club.
Okay. So Darren, I mean, some of the guys who are watching, they're in the market for potentially looking at new equipment. There's so much out there with all the various different manufacturers and choices. If people were to go and give Yonex a try, what 3 things do you think they should be looking out for, and why should they maybe look at giving Yonex a try?
Again, going back to the shaft, again, as we've said already, that high stability shaft that Yonex are well known for, that higher percentage of graphite gives you, greater consistency in the landing area of where the ball's hitting the fairway, and it's getting you a more consistent sort of flight as well, which is getting you at the same time a more consistent distance. Right. Again, that heavier head creating greater force between the club and the ball as well, and again, and that counterbalance grip. Those three points there, really make a big difference to their game. Okay,
that's great, Darren. So we've got the high stability shaft, we've got the heavier head, and the counterbalance grip. Is there anything else about this driver that could benefit the golfer?
Yeah, it's adjustable as well. So we've got adjustability in the driver, the fairway woods and the hybrids in men's and ladies. So a 10.5 degree drive that I've got here will go down to 9.75 and 9 degrees, and we'll go up to 11.25 and 12 degrees as well.
Fantastic. I mean, that's great, guys. I mean, certainly when I was being brought up as a golfer, having this adjustability now is absolutely brilliant. It means that if you're developing your game, you're having golf lessons and you're improving, if suddenly you buy a new driver and you're now hitting it too high, with drivers like Yonex now, we can knock the loft down and it stops you having to buy a new driver. So it's really, really useful.
And you've got the full demo kit here as well. Yep. So if there's any members out there that would like a Yonex custom fit, please come and see Danny.
Fantastic. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions, as always, leave them in the comments box below. But until next week, have a great golfing week.